Welcome to the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. I'm your host and speaking coach, Deborah Deras, known as the top Latina peak performance speaker. This podcast is here to support you with strategies and best practices of paid speakers so you can find out what works and what doesn't, so you can achieve success with ease and grace in your speaking career. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to another episode of the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. Today is a very special day because we have a guest that has been one of my inspirations when I first started speaking. I literally said when I saw her speak at the National Speakers Association conference convention, when I grow up as a speaker, I want to be like this woman because she's a firecracker. She is sassy, she is knowledgeable, and she is kicking butt in the speaking world amongst many men. This is a woman that is doing it for herself and helping other people to do it. Let me introduce you to our amazing guest today, which is Debbie Allen. She is an internationally known expert and professional speaker who has presented before thousands of people in 28 countries. She is ranked as one of the top 5% professional women speakers worldwide. I told you, friends. And she is the best-selling author of not one, but 9 books, including her latest book is what we're going to talk about today, which is Success is Easy, Shameless No-Nonsense Strategies to Win in Business, published by Entrepreneur Press and featured in, guess what, Entrepreneur Magazine. Big time. Debbie is an award-winning entrepreneur who has built and sold $6 million companies in diverse industries. And as a small business consultant, she supports her clients by helping them position their business for more success with ease. And you know I am all about success with ease and grace. Please help me welcome Debbie Allen.
Hey, that's a Debbie show.
It is a Debbie show.
Love it.
I always say Debbie stands for Debbie Dinero because I help you make money.
Yeah.
You know it. So it's so wonderful to reunite with you. I have to tell you that at the beginning of my career, late 90s, early 2000s, when I saw you hit the stage and I had a copy of your book on shameless self-promotion, I was like, I love it. My grandmother, my Jewish Lithuanian grandmother said, if you don't tell people how fantastic you are, no one will know.
Thank goodness for her. She was so smart, way before her time.
Yes, yes. And I just want to hear the journey of how you got started as a speaker because my audience members are going to love you and want to have everything you sell.
Well, everything that I teach, Deborah, is about positioning. Find your niche, find your direction, position yourself as an expert. And I did that from day one. Yes. Never knew there was a business of speaking. I knew that I was an expert in retail because I had built and sold numerous retail stores, bought a business that lost money for 6 years, made a little bit of money the first year, and then turned it into a multi-million-dollar business within a couple of years. And I did it all through the help of mentors. They took me under their wing. These were very, very successful retailers. And I was smart enough early on to say, hey, I don't know anything. So I'm going to find people that are really successful and I'm going to go there. And that's what I've always done. I've always got, asked, and we're going to talk about getting your ask in gear a little bit later, but I've always asked the right people that were already doing things like, how can you, help me do this? How can we work together some way? And that's kind of how I launched it. I really started my business in the retail because I've been doing the retail business and growing it. And I really wanted to do it from my heart. I've always felt this way, Deborah, that if I have success, I want to share success. It's just my feeling. I love helping people be successful. And so I did it just from my heart, just saying, how can I help more small retailers be successful? And they were doing these huge shows in Las Vegas, and thousands of people are coming to these huge shows in Vegas and buying for their stores. And there was no seminars. Wow. And to me, I'm an entrepreneur. I think common business sense. Why are you letting them invest in their business, but you're not teaching them how to be successful? They're not going to keep coming back, right? Look what happened to, the boutiques in our, boutique retail. Small business owners it's gone. It's just, there's very few left. And I could see that in the 80s, that this was going to happen. And so I wanted to make a difference. And so I told them I would do a seminar and I'd only gone to Toastmasters. I wasn't an NSA member. I didn't know anything about speaking. I said, I want to do a seminar, and I'm going to prove to you that you're going to need seminars, and then you're going to want to pay me, and you're going to want to refer me to other people, and you're going to bring me in to speak every time for all your shows. And he's kind of like, really? And I'm like, I just believed in it because I just wanted to give. It wasn't about the money. I mean, I asked $1,000 way back when, 25 years ago, and then he didn't call me back because it was about the money.
Right.
And then I realized, okay, he goes, I talked to the money man and he doesn't believe in seminars. And I said, okay, this really isn't about money. What can I keep my value? I got to keep my value. I'm not going to do it for free. I've never spoke for free.
Wow. Never?
Value. No, I've always
awesome.
given my value.
Right.
So if you're going to speak, there's a value option there. You're going to waive your fee for something.
Right.
But you're never going to speak for free.
Got it.
There's a big difference there. And so I came right back and I said, okay, I want to be on the front cover of the magazine that comes out. I want to be on all your flyers. I just knew enough to ask this, right? And I want a, life-size poster. I'm only 5'2". That wasn't asking a lot, right? Life-size poster next to the registration desk to promote it. I want you to put the seminar on the third day of the show so I can promote it. And so I was a shameless promoter, Deborah. I was like on the shuttle bus passing out flyers. I was going to all of those sales reps and I said, I need you there. Right. And I need you to get all your people there, because if you get your people there and you're there, I know it's Vegas. I know it's morning. Like, talk about the most challenging opportunity. Never been a speaker, never filled a room. And I'm promising this guy, I'm going to fill the room, standing room only. Whoa. I've never done a seminar. And so one thing I guess I was early on was a promoter.
Right.
So I filled the room, standing room only. And that was 25 years ago. And that's how I started it. And then from there, it was referrals, and they were all paid. And he continued to book me continuously. And that's how I started. And I stayed in the retail, kind of the retail association market for about 8 to 10 years until I outgrew them. It's because my fee just went higher. And that's when I wrote the book, Confessions of Shameless Self-Promoters, to really go keynote, to go to a more general market, to move out of retail, because I had really saturated every area of retail, from apparel to gift to pool and spa and garden and landscaping, and then international. I'd done all that. So I always look at what's next, right? And you aspire to do the next big thing. And so keynotes was the next thing. And that Shameless Self-Promoter book got me a lot of keynotes and made me a lot of money in the speaking business. But here's the problem with that. I was in a box. I could only do speaking. I couldn't do other streams of income. It's kind of hard to consult people and, tell them how to be shameless, but I guess I could have, but it wasn't really the thing, right?
Right. I love that story. Oh my goodness. I have that book, The Confessions of Shameless Self-Promoters. That's how good of promotion you are. I have it. I was like, wait a minute. I have this book. You're in a red dress, right?
It was actually done twice, because I actually self-published the book. It became a bestseller as a self-published book because of the people I got involved in the book. All the top marketers. That's how I built relationship with all the top marketers: Dan Kennedy, Mark Victor Hansen, Joe Vitale. All those people know me as friends now, but they didn't know me then. I wrote a great book proposal to get them involved in the book. They loved the title and the concept of it. So they kept buying books, and it became a bestseller because they were buying hundreds of books. Then a weird thing. I mean, this is the thing about positioning, Deborah. When you're positioned as an expert, you don't have to go out and push media. You don't have to go out and push anything. You position yourself and people find you. And that's always been the case for me. Is a New York book agent found me and then pushed it to a major publisher, and it was republished to a major publisher the second time around.
So you all that are listening, write this down. She says, position yourself as an expert. When you do, people will come to you. It's not that you're going to have to be pushing. It's attraction rather than promotion, really, when you're doing that. The other thing that you said was get yourself a mentor. Success leaves clues, right? If you don't know how to do it, there are people that came before you that do know how to do it. And what I love also about you as an entrepreneur, because as speakers, we're not just speaking, we are running a freaking business. And if you don't know how to see opportunities and windows where there are gaps and fill them, then you're not an entrepreneur. You're a speaker or a trainer that's working for yourself, right? Can I get an amen, Debbie?
Oh my gosh, you got an amen there. Something just happened like that for me today. somebody that was considers themselves an entrepreneur just passed up on this huge opportunity that was just like me. It was like flashing lights, like go green, 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 and you put a red light on it, and I'm like, what did you not see there? And so
Right.
that is a big thing you just said there, Deborah, is being able to see the opportunities instead of putting obstacles in the way, saying, well, I didn't budget for that, and I didn't think about that, and maybe that's not right. No, when the opportunity arises, you got to jump. And when it's an opportunity for you to be in the inner circle, in the right lane, for things to blow up. And believe me, I've always been able to jump in that lane. There's just to get out of that, get out of any kind of excuses that might be in your way there.
Exactly. And what's remarkable about you too is that you're a visionary, that you're seeing the trends and you're seeing the shifts in the industry. Because you and I have been in the industry for decades and it hasn't always been the same. Like how they were hiring speakers 30 years ago or 20 years ago and how they're hiring them now is very different with social media and influencer marketing. And so being able to predict what's going to happen and have, like you said, those multiple streams of income. So when something's good and something's not good, you always have a backup. I actually learned that from the Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen tradings. When they did the real
Right.
estate and the stocks and all of that, they talked about always having something like a product that has that passive income. So can you share some of the lessons that you've learned from the speaking stage and how you've been able to overcome one of your biggest failures?
Well, I'm not going to say this as my failure, but I'm going to say it as one of the toughest obstacles. Let's put it
Yes.
that way, because I think that's the biggest lesson that shifted everything in my business.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest obstacle was the economy downfall,
Yes.
2008,
Yes.
crashed the whole speaking industry.
Me too.
We don't know. I mean, I don't think anything like that would ever happen that's extreme again, but I believe that we're going to have waves. I mean,
Right.
there's a process, and like you said, Deborah, the business changes. So that really taught me that, then I had to go internationally because there was no business in the United States. I actually was on a 4-year world tour because I was doing business there because there wasn't business in the States.
So smart.
Yeah, and that was a big world, right? And then I came back when things got better, reinvented myself. But when I was on the road and when things was happening, things changed, I went, hey, I see that things need to be different.
Right.
And I see that I need to learn how to speak and sell or educate to sell. And I need to be, instead of just putting people on my stages that can do that, I need to learn how to do that and be putting on events myself and doing that. And taking on some more consulting clients, which I really wasn't doing then,
Mm-hmm.
and putting on specialty events. So it just shifted my business completely different. And so I'm so glad that it happened, because anytime there's an obstacle or a failure put in your way, you got to go, what's the lesson?
Right.
And the bigger the obstacle and the bigger the failure, the bigger the lesson.
Right.
So I'm so glad it happened because it made me shift everything.
Yeah, it's like those breakdowns for breakthroughs. And that year of 2008 was the same year I decided to get divorced. I was like,
Okay, everything.
So I literally thought my speaking career had stopped because it was like my energy, because I wasn't in a good place because I was going through a divorce. I had no idea that it was the whole economy, that I was like blaming myself. But it taught me to never depend on one source of revenue for income again. You know what I mean? And one of the things we have to do is get out of our own way, which is why I can't wait to read your book.
Well, and we're both NSA members, so I'm going to mention this, is that I've spoken almost every NSA chapter,
Oh,
and sometimes I've come back a couple times. I've only got a few of them that I haven't spoke at yet.
right.
And so one of the things I say, is a lot of you, I mean, I love NSA, it's my family, but some have drank the NSA Kool-Aid a little bit too long.
Right.
And they only think I want paid speaking. Well, let me tell you, you stop drinking the Kool-Aid. It's our family. It's great. It's a great income stream.
Right.
It's an amazing skill that we have, that we get paid, that we have an opportunity to even use the skill. But you've got to think outside the box. You got to run your speaking business like an entrepreneur and find other ways to use speaking for other streams of income. And that's the key piece that I teach speakers.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so important to have those multiple streams. So can you help some of our listeners overcome their fear when it comes to failure, stepping into the ring? Because there's a lot of people that have been listening and listening to podcast after podcast, and they still haven't taken that freaking action. How can you get them out there to actually see results?
Well, Deborah, that's why I wanted to write this book, because I have a passion to keep helping more people at a bigger level. And I
Mm-hmm.
want more people to take that leap. And I believe that we've been lied to all of our lives that success is hard. And a
Right.
lot of it is just been told from us, from people that are doomsayers and dream stealers, and maybe people that just don't know. They don't think the same way you do, so they try and they say, "What are you doing? Why don't you slow down? What are you working so hard?" Like, well, because I have a gift, even that's a dream steal. Like, I hear that all the time, because you get to a certain age and you're a woman, you're supposed to slow down. I mean, I'm at my prime now. I mean, it's a gift. I just came out with this book that's going to be life changing for people,
Yes.
because I believe I've started every business, Deborah, with no knowledge of how to do it and very little money to invest. And I've been a success in every single thing I've done. And I barely passed high school. I've done no college. I could have made every reason I could have failed. And so I know that success is easy. And my goal now for the rest of my life is to teach people that what you've been told is a lie. It
Mm-hmm.
is easy. Success is actually easier than failure.
Really? And why do you say that?
Oh, think about it. Success books are probably covering your library in your office,
It's
right?
true.
There's all kinds
Yeah.
of success books everywhere. Go into any bookstore, there's success book, there's opportunities. There's more events now than anywhere else. We have online. If you don't even, you can't fly to go to an event, you can go watch something on the internet. You can study anyone that's successful. You can study any mentor you want to pick and study their words, their listening. You can be motivated by people that want to motivate you on motivational seminars that are right there on your computer every single day. And failure is just like, okay, it's a lesson, right? So you got to look at it differently, but we're surrounded by so many success opportunities. And instead of hanging around with negative people that pull you down, or unsuccessful people, you got to get out of that circle. You got to find a new inner circle. And that means leaving some of your friends and leaving some of your family behind. And I've had to leave some of my family and some of my friends behind. And sometimes it's really hurtful to do that. But you know what? I'm here on this earth for a bigger mission. I know your speakers are on this earth for a bigger mission. And that is to help a lot of people. And I think that's the gift that we have to say, you know what? When I step into those shoes, then I have a mission to accomplish, and it's bigger than me. I got to get out of my own way, because I've stepped up to this, and a lot of people are counting on me.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like that false idea, like no pain, no gain, put the axe to the grindstone. And I remember I told you that my grandmother was from Lithuania, my Jewish side, but then my dad's side was from Colombia. So I had like Catholic and Jewish guilt. And it was like this heaviness on my shoulder. We sacrificed, we suffered so you could have a better life. You better bring it. And I had that false idea it had to be hard. And I literally, and I wrote about this in my book, was hospitalized for burnout in my early 20s because I bought into that lie. And I realized there had to be a better way to be successful without compromising my health and well-being. And that's why I love books like yours and teachers like you and teachers like our mutual friend Ursula that teach us how. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well, success is easy, but how? And you mentioned mentors. You mentioned, positioning yourself and how to be that expert, right? But so many people are scared. Like they're scared to ask for the business. They're scared to put themselves out. How do you teach people how to ask and the power of asking that will really transform not just their business, but their life?
Okay, I'm going to say one thing before that and then transition to that, is that when you can look at success in your own definition, it gets rid of all that stress. Because I was later in life before I got rid of, like, I got to prove to somebody else, I got to prove to my father, I got to work hard. I did that too.
Right.
So I learned how to define my own success. I did a whole chapter on that.
Oh,
so
good.
that people can learn to define their own success. That takes a lot of pressure off of you when you define your own level of success. And then you're in that space. Mm-hmm. Then you're in that space when you define your own success. You know the benefits and the outcomes and the value you offer. When you know that, you can easily ask, because you're coming from your head and your heart. You're connecting that together. Right. And when you're asking for something, it's not a selfish ask. It's an ask that serves other people. And so there's an art and a science to asking. You know what, Deborah? I'm in the Entrepreneur magazine. The cover right behind me here. It's October-November issue. Awesome. 100 Powerful Women issue. I'm in that because I got my asking gear. because I raised my hand in an audience and I said, "How did you get your book featured in Entrepreneur Magazine? It's been my dream all of my life." And the person that was in the book, Jeffrey Hazlett, was at the National Speakers Convention, and he connected me to Entrepreneur. And within 10 days, they bought the book from a call. That's how much they loved it. I
Wow.
didn't raise my hand that day. If I didn't ask, I was dreaming about being in that magazine, having my book there. I didn't even know they were publishers back then. I didn't
Right.
know how. So you don't have to know the how. You just have to define your success, and then you have to ask the right people to get in the right situations. And
Mm.
that has always been my success strategy, and it's always helped me. It's just like, I know where I want to go. And you're a great visionary too, Deborah. It's like, you know where you want to go, but you don't have to know how to get there. You just find
Exactly.
people that are there and say, "Hey, how'd you get there? What can I do to help you?" And then, how did that help? And so of course I've done many favors in return for Jeffrey. You just automatically do that. You don't just take.
Right.
Your good business relationships are really equal, and you value those.
Yes, I love that. The power of the ask. I learned when I was roaming about Rome in Italy, not speaking the language that even I was asking and people didn't understand me, that you have to speak up for yourself, right? We're not just speakers to transform the world, but we're speakers to be messengers. And if we don't get our message out, how are we going to have that impact? How is all of the content that we're putting out in our speeches, in our books going to get out if we don't have the courage and to know that people want to hear what we have to say? But it's to really have that confidence and lean into that. And I'm so glad you explained how you got with Entrepreneur Magazine, because I was going to be like, wow, they published your book? That's a great,
They paid for the ad. They published my book. They gave me money for that. They're still marketing me. It's like, oh yeah, it's
I
awesome.
I mean, talk about positioning yourself as an expert and giving you so much credibility by association, because you're associated now with Entrepreneur Magazine. They're vouching for you. They're saying if you want to know how to do something, if you want to be successful, she is the one, because they're featuring you. It's such a powerful way of aligning.
Well, Entrepreneur is a pretty powerful publisher. I don't know that. I would hope that this is the trend of new publishers, is that they take you on as a partner, and so
Mhm.
they're looking for me for another book. We're already talking about going with some other things. I'm also in there asking experts. If you go to entrepreneur.com, which has 3 million followers, they have an Ask an Expert section. There's only about 12 or 13 experts. You can actually go in and hire me. So you go to my profile and you can hire me for half an hour to strategize about your business. That's all through Entrepreneur. They take a small percentage of that because I'm serving their readers, I'm serving
Right.
their community. I'm also doing their webinars for them. I mean, it's all part of the whole package.
Ooh la la, you're doing webinars for them? Super freaking cool. My God, I love it. Okay, one more question. Oh my God, time goes so fast. I'm going to have you back. Okay, so when you talk about and success is easy about having a limiting mindset, and you say that people with limiting or negative mindset fall into the lame excuse zone. And I just love how you talk about that. How can people get out of that lame excuse zone to be into success?
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves is hearing people say I'm broke, because once you state a claim like that, you put yourself in a box.
Right.
You might be financially strapped at this time or whatever, but you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to invest in your business. And I think speakers, for the most part, make a lot of excuses. And they fall into that lame excuse zone. And it's like, I know a lot of your listeners are not that. The people that invested with you, they're going full out. They're ready to do that.
Right.
But there's, for the majority of people that are out there, they're just kind of dabbling in it, and they just make excuses why. And I'll tell you that the excuse of, I don't want to speak up, or maybe somebody's not going to like me. Well, you know what? If everybody likes you, then you're not going to be successful in this business. You've got to speak up. You've got to rock the boat. Because that is what it's all about. Your audiences want you to rock your boat, and even taking a client that doesn't allow you to rock the boat, I won't take that client, because I don't want to be micromanaged. I want to be me when I'm on
Right.
that stage. I want to have a conversation with that audience that's going to make a difference. And I think that the thing about getting excuses, it's just like, how bad do you want something? I never allow failure to happen, because if I want something bad enough, it's going to be whatever it takes to succeed. And when you have that attitude, there's no lame excuse zone. You have to say, do I want it bad enough to do whatever it takes to succeed?
Yes, I love that. That's going to be my mantra. I'm going to put it as an appointment on my calendar, whatever it takes to succeed. And we don't have to do it alone because we have your book with all the techniques, because success is what? Everyone? Easy. I want you to say it after me. Success is easy. We're going to reprogram our limiting beliefs and the lies that people told us that success is difficult. It's because people, the collective consciousness wanted us to be stuck in workers. When you're entrepreneurs, you don't listen to what is fed to you. You create your own opportunities. And that's really what everything that you do is all about. And I know that people are going to want to see you live. They're going to want to come to your programs and trainings. How can people stay in touch with you and find out, where they can buy the book and how they can attend your programs?
Well, I do an annual signature event called the Highly Paid Expert, where I teach the positioning for speakers, and that's November 21st through the 23rd this year in Scottsdale.
Oh, great.
Yep. And so if they just connect with me, send me an email, I will get them a guest pass for you. Okay.
Ooh la la.
Sponsorship. Yes. So just go to my website, debbieallen.com. They can email me through that. They can find out about the book through there. Tell me that all they have to do is say, I'm a friend of Deborah's, and they're a friend of mine. I'll hook them up.
Oh, I love it. Scottsdale in November is like the perfect time to go to Scott. It's also really lovely. That's the one place in Arizona I haven't been. Oh my goodness, I got to clear my calendar. Let's go, everyone. Yeah. Won't that be fun?
I'll ask for them in return if they come, and is to buy the book, and when it comes out November 12th, and put the word out there, give me a positive review, and help more people be successfully easily. Well, whatever it is, you said it better than I did.
I love that concept, and that is my mantra. It's like we're going to let go of the limiting belief of success being painful, success being tough, and get on the success is easy train, because that is what Debbie has invited us on, and I am all aboard. I am all aboard with that. And anything that I can do to promote you, I signed up as your partner. I am going to do it because I really believe I am so in alignment with your message, because that is where we need to go. Because if we're going to be successful, this is a marathon. It is not a sprint, and we will burn out if we do it the hard way. And there's so much that we have to give. So thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you. And I'm going to have all the information on signing up for her conference, buying her book, debbieallen.com information in the show notes. I want to thank you all for not just listening, but for taking her advice, following her example, and knowing you can have it too. Because why? Success is easy, my friends. This is Deborah Deras, your host, reminding you that you are the messenger for that message. And with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Ciao. Thank you for tuning into the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. If you want to be a paid speaker right now, you can download the 5 steps to get started as a paid speaker right on my website. Just go to deborahderas.com/speak now. And remember, with the power of synergy, anything is possible.